Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Oh my goodness, what a week this has been. It's great to see you all. I'm Kate Richberg, and welcome to Free Tip Friday with beadshop.com. Wow, we've had quite a week here at Bead Shop. We've done so much this weekend. I'm looking to see, there's a bunch of people on. I don't think Janice is on yet. I don't think Gita is on yet, but I see a bunch of you on here. Thank you. And Cynthia just brought me coffee. Cynthia's still here. She is busy doing some drawing and things from our clasp aganza. Wasn't that fun?
Yeah, that's fun.
That was fun.
I should sketch some out. Maybe we can look at it.
Look at it just real quick. All right. She's going to get some coffee and come back. But I have some fun things for you folks today. Today's the day. The seed bead vintage African seed bead vintage. Did I say that? Sale. I'm tired. Is today at noon Pacific time. So right now it is 10:38 a.m. on the West Coast. That'll go live on our website. It's going to be on our homepage. Let me share that with you just so you folks can see that. Bear with me here just a second. There it is. So if we let's go to the homepage right here. You're going to see right here, it's my the mystery bags from the seed beads are going to go live at noon. So you can click on those and it'll take you right to the page. You can also go right here to our new arrivals tab and you can see it there. Okay, so it'll all be there for you. Yeah, we're bummed. My mom's on. Hi, Mama. Well, we'll be back maybe Sunday night. We'll see how you're feeling. I hope you're on the road to recovery. She is, for sure. But I'm so glad everybody had such a wonderful time with us this weekend. I'm going to go over all of the beads. I'm going to open them up. And Shelly's like, let's get down to it, please. What's the size of those Venetian beads? Well, let me show you. Let me open the bag, and I'll talk to you about them a little bit. I'll measure them. I'll let you know. They're all different. So honestly, I had 500 strands. So there are 5 strands per bag. I made 100 bags. And so I had my hands on each of those beads. And I put them in the piles, and I did them like in piles of 5 at a time, I think, and I curated them and the colors are done. So I'm pretty pleased with the way that they came out. So I'm going to tell you the different color stories, some more than others. There's a lot of blue in this batch. So let me show you here. If you look at this, see how there are 3 different piles there? That's sort of indicative. There's not a lot of yellow and not a lot of red. Some will have yellow, some will have red. There's a lot of blues. There's some green in there. So there's nothing like purple. I don't really think there's any orange. The colors are kind of muted, not super bright. They're all, I think, really beautiful. So let me add my kind of messy desk to this and let's take a look. Okay. Yeah, I did. I packed these all my very own self. So if there's an issue, it's my fault. Mine. If you're missing a strand or if anything's off. So you just email us. But I did them very slowly. So I hope that they're all good. But if you're missing one or anything, just let me know. I've got a couple stashed away. So I had a couple left over. But let's take a look. And then I also want to show you the project. Sorry, this is all messy mess here. Let me do that. There we go. Let me take a slurp of this coffee that our dear Cynthia brought to me. That is perfect. Okay, so what you're going to get, let me make this a little neater. There's some stuff under here. Oh no, this is warped. I'm like, why is this funny? Well, I'll just go with it, I guess. Let me see if I can unwarp this. There we go. That's a little better. So here's the bag. Okay, and let me zoom in a little bit here. Um, we were playing around with the lights yesterday, so let me raise this light up so it's a little bit brighter. Wasn't that fun yesterday, choosing those color palettes and playing around with those color palettes and everything with Cynthia? I had so much fun. I started to actually string my piece, and so I'm going to show you what I've been making. I'll show you that in a little bit. Okay, this makes a prettier picture. I don't like anything to be too off. There we are. That doesn't look bad. All right, so you're going to get them in an organza bag. I use some different colors of the organza bags, and I put them all together. There's 5 strands. I kept one for myself kind of randomly, and I made just a little informative sheet of paper for you about them. Remember when we talked about these last week or the week before? I had that book, and I've got this book right here. It's the Venetian Beads, Mosaic Glass, and Marini book. And it did have, I scanned the page from it right here. So you'll get this photo with your stuff. And it's from the book Venetian Beads, Mosaic Glass, and Marini by Giovanni Sharpleton. Sharpayan, I think, is what that is. So, so this is what you'll get. This will come in it. This is the book. I showed you folks this earlier, and that page. The page is from a sample card that they would sell the beads from. And you can see there's 2 shapes of beads that are in these mixes. One is this kind of cut off, kind of almost like a tube, but it's short, kind of a bead. And then some are the rounds, the rocales that are like these guys here, like this. So you've got a whole variety of those beads. So let me grab this one too. Here we go. So the beads come strung. They string them in West Africa. And they put them together, usually by color, but sometimes not. Sometimes they mix colors. So a few of the strands I'm sending you have mixed colors. But this was the 5 that I put in this bag. Okay. And look at some of them that you'll get. They have this, it's like a coil, like a metal brass coil that they put in the center, which is kind of cool. I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna string these for you today. I'm gonna show you how I do it, and I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna even restring them. I'm gonna use everything on here and make up a quick necklace. Some of the ones, this one, I guess didn't have any rounds or rocales in it, but this is a mixed strand of color. Not many are like this. There may be a few bags that have some with these mixed colors, but you can see the seed beads, the round rocales in here too. I think they're all really beautiful. I bought them directly from our African trader when he was here from Ghana. I bought them right in the front, in my driveway. They were really beautiful. He gave me a very, very good price. So we've priced them pretty well for 5 strands. They're under $10 a strand. And I'm really happy to be able to pass that savings on to you. Let me go ahead and measure these so they can, so you can see the length. I know these are the perfect summer bead, and I think I'm going to make my summer necklace. I'm going to make it right here on camera. I'll get done in plenty of time for you folks to go ahead and do, jump over the site and get some shopping done. I have 100 bags of these, so I have a lot, but they're going to go quickly. So, you know how that goes. So for some reason, in all of our hullabaloo yesterday, here it is. I put away my tape measure like a smart lady, but I didn't look in the drawer for it. So for beads, I'm just going to do the bead length. They vary a little bit in length. So these, they're about probably between 18 and 20 inches in length here. So this here, between 18 and 20. And the size, look at these, are small, small. Mary's asking, are they Venetian or African? So they are Venetian. They originated in Venice, is where they originated. And then they were imported to Africa in about 1900 to about 1910, these age from about there. So they were created in Venice for the African trade. They were also used in other places as well, but they were really widely used by the Maasai. Use these. My trader told me this. The Maasai use these beads quite a bit. They were used quite a bit in Ghana and Nigeria. So they kind of went all over the continent of Africa. So it's, it feels cool to touch the history like this of our ancestors that went before us, right? Because some of our first adornments that we ever wore, were beads. We bored a hole in a rock, put it on a leather thong, and tied it around our necks, right? So these also have the patina of history on them. So they will go from my care into yours. But that being said, these aren't precious, right? I mean, they're precious, but don't be precious with them, I guess is what I want to say. Wear them. These beads are meant to see the light of day, right? I think that's important. These are small little beauties. They're a beautiful kind of cornflower blue. These run about 2 millimeter. They would make great waist beads if you are someone who likes to wear them, which I think are beautiful. You could string these all together, especially on soft flex or some kind of natural material. They would look beautiful. So these are about a 2 by 3 millimeter here. Let me go to these bigger ones. You can see these are kind of chopped off. These are 3.3 millimeter, pardon me, by about 3.8. Then the Rocals here, this is equivalent to about a 10-aught-ish, but some are super small. I didn't even save one of the super small strands for myself. I wanted it real bad, but I had to send it to you folks. So there's some that are as small as 15-aught. They're just delicious. Just gorgeous beads. So you can see some of these 2.6 mil side to side, 2.5. These blue ones, look at these blue, 2.4. So, it's a good, you're going to get a good variety. I have 6 strands here, but you're actually just going to get 5 strands. Cynthia, you collect some of these old trade beads, don't you?
I love them so much. They add such a beautiful texture to your work, and the colors are different than I think regular modern beads.
100%. I think they're different, especially like in the blues. Like, look at this. It's almost like an indigo blue, a light indigo. Really fitting since so much of the indigo is made in Ghana. Really gorgeous beads. So I want to show you how I might put these together as a necklace. So you remember a few weeks ago, we launched these beauties, these little metal strands, the little squares and the little triangles that we got in. And I just kept them on the strands that they were on, and then I attached them to a clasp. I crimped them and attached them to a clasp that way. And I just wear this as kind of a little layering piece. I'm going to do the same thing here. I wasn't going to add metal, but in all of this hullabaloo, I might be able to find a strand that's still kind of intact. Let me see. Yeah, this might be intact enough.
I remember reading comments from that live, and people were like, it's going to be too fragile. It's going to break.
Right.
And I have never been able to break them for love or money.
Yeah, these strands, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I remember at the show trying to break a thing off to, remove it.
Right.
And you have to cut them.
Yeah, you do. They really stay nice and sturdy. Here we go. I knew I had a strand of shadows that was intact. I'm going to use a strand of our little shadow beads as well. I think it'll be cool to mix it. I'm also going to mix in, because I was telling Cynthia yesterday, if you watched us yesterday, I was telling her about that closure I made with the silk wrap. So I thought, Cynthia, I'd teach you how to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Right here on camera and show you folks how to do it. This is how I'm going to close it. Okay. So I'm going to choose a leather, and then I'm just going to keep all of this what it's on. I'm going to go through, I'll choose a button, and then I'll make a loop for the button. So I'll do that, and we're going to put those together. I also think I'm going to add a strand of just leather, just plain leather cord, just for fun. And that leather can stay plain, or I can come in and I can add a clasp on and off this piece. Like, remember Cynthia was painting those wood beads yesterday?
Pretty fun.
Look at that wood bead. I might rewrap that wood bead. Or, you know what I could do, Cynthia? I'm going to cut this up. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut this right now because I can. If I can find my flippin' wire cutters.
They're here.
Oh, perfect. Yay. I found my flippin' wire cutters.
I had them.
Oh, she had them. Well, no problem then. See here, let me cut this off because I think this will fit. If it doesn't, I'm going to ream it a little to make it fit. It's super close. Let me see. Let me get it's wood, so sometimes it needs just a little bit of help. Look, here's my wax tool that Greg made me.
Oh.
Sitting right here.
We were just talking about doing some wax work.
Yeah, we are. My beautiful wax tool. Let me see if I can just open this up. I've got a little drill bit here. Yeah, uh-oh, Kate's on a roll. It's true. Can you I get excited. I get that excited voice. Mm-hmm. And if it doesn't fit on this, it's really okay. I'll just add another strand, and I'll add a strand of something smaller. But I want to see if I can get it through here. These wood beads, this is just a drill bit that I had. If I was prepping this and I knew actually what I was doing and prep beforehand, I would have perhaps, I could drill this with my Dremel. But see, there we go. That drill bit's getting this out.
Yeah, sometimes that stuff gets caught in there and solidifies.
Mm-hmm. And you just need to get it. Yeah, there we go. That went all the way through. Let me see. Perfect. All right. Drill bit goes aside. Let's see. This is a little, you know how leather cord can get a little soft. So let me side cut it.
So annoying when it
so annoying.
Go through.
So you know what I'm going to do? I'm also going to use, and I could drill it. I mean, it would drill out fine, but I'm not going to take the time to do that. What I am going to take the time to do, Cynthia's like, give me that bead.
No, I was going to read comments for you.
Oh, thanks. I can just use, see this? Here's the wax linen. The wax linen will just add one more texture to what I've got going on. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, that's it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm still going to use this leather cord as well. So here's one of those. I wonder if I can get two.
I like that leather cord that you guys pick.
I have always loved like really pretty leather cords, and they have such nice look at this. They have such a nice color and a nice feel. I was showing Cynthia.
You know, I've had leather that was not that great, and these custom colors that you get in, and no, like, you know, you can't find that.
Yeah.
I was just telling Aliva like a month ago that I had a necklace break. I used this. I found some inexpensive leather cord at Michael's,
Right.
and not surprisingly,
Just not the same.
I got what I paid for.
Yeah.
So
a lot of the commercial leather cord that you find out there is a little rough, and we don't.
The splits.
Yeah, it splits, and in fulfillment, what we do is we look at every inch of cord really that we send to you. And if by some reason you have a knot or something's funny, you just have to email us right at info@beadshop and we'll make it right. We send out your cord so it's ready to go, no blemishes. So yeah, I could try it from the other side. I did, but I'm going to use a double strand of this, of the wax linen. And I showed Cynthia this. I was looking for stuff yesterday. I was looking for that little piece of hers that I showed her. And I ran across this Venetian trade bead. This bead's probably 200 years old, at least, also used in the African trade. Look at that Marini there. The glass is just so silky. So I could actually utilize that. I don't think I'd use both. I'd do this one or I do that one. Since this is reminiscent of Cynthia, I think I'm going to use that, and I'll just keep that as
Save it for later.
Save it for later. So, and kids, I've been collecting beads since I actually was a teenager, but even before I started working at bead stores. So I have a lot of beads. And back in the day, it sounds like, oh, back in my day, but it's really true. You could find so many cool beads all over the place. Now it's a little harder, but I try and bring you things with my practiced eye. Okay.
Well, a lot of those traders have since passed away.
I know. One of the that's the African trader that we deal with now. We used to deal with his uncle, who was older.
Yeah. Well, no one lives forever. I mean, the trade when I got started, it was they would always joke with me like, "You're in with old hippies now,"
Right, and now who are the old hippies?
And now I'm the old hippie.
That's right.
So there you go.
It's really true. Yeah, my gran, Michelle is asking, did my gran get me started on beads? Gran had a necklace box of just old broken necklaces and things. And I always, as a little girl, loved to play with them. And I'd restring them on dental floss. And my mom always had some wood beads and stuff laying around. So I would always kind of, want to play with all of those beads. So it was fun. I always loved making things.
Well, that's good because I had a button box of my grandma's, but these would be way better.
Well, buttons were also.
I think your mom is wondering if that's one of her beads.
Oh, trade bead mine. I don't think, Mama, I don't know. It could be your trade bead. It could actually be yours because I've had it forever. My mom's like, is that mine? So let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut, see how I made these even. And I'm going to cut, I need about this much. And you can see it's raffia plus thread. Okay. My mom's saying she thinks she had that trade bead on Blue Rat Tail. You know what? You probably did. No surprise there. So I'm going to clip these, cut these off like that. Okay. And I'm going to use my clips here. And I'm just going to kind of clip these all together so that I know they're coming together. Okay, like that. Maybe
someone's mentioning that we're blessed with some amazing weather, and I would agree with that.
Oh my goodness.
We took a walk this morning and it was, you couldn't ask for better weather.
No, you really couldn't. It was beautiful weather.
And I've heard tell that this is a really hot place, but since I've been here, I'm like, it's like Asheville here.
It is. Fresno is hot. Yeah, this is going to be the right length. So see what I'm doing here? All of these are kind of different lengths. Okay. So this clamp doesn't want to stay clamped. Do I have
You need a clamp?
No, you know what I want? I think I've got some here. I think I'm going to tape it.
Because you can point me to the direction.
You know, I have a binder clip. Maybe that'll hold it better. If I put some on that side. My big clampers just weren't. There we go. That's holding it. That's better. I'm good. Thanks, Sam.
Looks good.
So now, see, remember this one that I had, this blue one that had this kind of little coil here in the center? Okay, like this. I'm going to keep this in the middle. And then on this side, that's probably like the shortest one. So if that's the middle, I'm going to come over here to this side. And I'm going to cut away. See, now they kind of have knots on them. So I'm going to cut the knots away. And it's sometimes what you have to do. I think that these ends, I'm going to even it up. If I can, I'm going to even it up strand by strand. So it's about there. So that one's good.
Are you making them equal lengths, Kate?
Equal-ish. How's that for an answer? So yeah, this one's a little bit longer. That one's a little shorter. Whoops. Sorry, I'm off the thing there.
And you could make them, though, if you wanted it to be a staggered.
Right. You could really make them.
You could probably adjust them so that some are shorter, so that
a lot
they would
shorter.
lay
Yeah, exactly.
a short and then a longer.
They're more graduated. Yeah. Here's my red one. There it is.
I love how that red pops.
It really pops it, doesn't it? Here's this blue, this little smaller blue. So I'm going to fill it in with right there. There we go. So I'm going to do this. See, this doesn't really, it kind of comes off. So I undid the knot. So let me unfurl this for you so you can see what this looks like underneath. So see, it's actually this thread. So I'm going to take all this off. I'm going to pull this around. These are precious nuggets. I don't want anything to happen to that, right, Cynthia? Cynthia's all, give me those nugs.
I don't like to waste them. Some, it's funny, like if some seed beads fall down, even like nice Mayukis, I'm like,
meh. But
if an African trade bead falls, I'm getting down there to hunt for it.
Yeah, let me get this one. I'm going to put that right there. So that one will go here. And it's just going to flow right in with these others. I can take a few more off.
And boy, this is a much quicker
way.
Can you imagine how much longer? I mean, it wouldn't take forever to restring it.
This one looks okay, so I'm keeping it. This white one is long. So, see, look at how much of that I have left. So let me undo this. What's Kim Crawford telling us there?
Kim says, so many of us started by playing with our grandmas, or grands, moms, sisses, aunties, jewelry troves, or summer programs, camp, Girl Scouts, etc.
Yes.
I would agree with that. I mean, look at Azalea. She started by picking through my collection, always going for the
most
big
expensive
rubies and choy beads.
Yeah, big ticket items.
She's like, Mom, can I have these? She shows up with basically like $600 worth of beads.
Right. That's so funny.
Carrie says, my hubby empties the vacuum to make sure good beads didn't go in.
Oh,
that's so considerate.
That is considerate. So I've got these left over from my strands. Okay, so I'm going to put them over there.
Yeah, those are good. You can sit. You can use those as the. I love them for
spacers or earrings.
Earrings, or I love to make a loop and then add a charm.
They're perfect for.
Because you only need like an inch.
Right. That's exactly right. So see here, I've lined these up. These are ready to go. Okay. The red,
there's no color name.
There's no color name.
These are African trade beads. So.
And your mystery bag, there weren't that many that had red in them, but some do have the red. There are no double colors. I didn't double up on any colors. So each color that you're going to get of the 5 strands are going to be different. The thing about red is, and we were talking a little bit about red yesterday, was that when they make red beads or pink beads, the Italians in the Venetian glass, it's called Rubino Oro, which means ruby gold. And you use actual gold in the glass to batch the glass when you make it. And therefore, that's why red beads and pink beads aren't the colors that they used to be.
Right. You don't get that kind of, especially with those milky, when you hold them up, they look like they have that golden sort of...
that milky color.
Mm-hmm. It is harder. I mean, you can see some of that now with modern colors, but there's something about, I guess, they just, it's like they just run out of those colors.
Those colors, and it's just not made the same way anymore. I mean, our safety procedures now in factories, thank goodness, are things are much safer. Glass making and batching glass like this was not the most safest of jobs, especially with fuming, gold fuming, and stuff like that. So
I still love it.
I'll
put my face in there.
right in
silver for boro. Makes such gorgeous colors.
Look at how cool that looks. That bead looks in there.
You're getting a lot of comments of people saying that they love it and it's perfect for Memorial Day to July 4th.
Yeah, to July 4th.
And you know what?
Bastille Day. We were doing a lot of my terrible French yesterday. So,
but it's not. I wouldn't say it's sometimes not, those colors can be a little. It can be
for me over the top,
a little, or just not. I mean, you have one use for it,
right? But this, I think, is going to be a great summer fun necklace. Now I'm going to cut some of this. But yeah, so we don't see like the red and the purple anymore in glass, especially that are as bright or as vibrant.
Well, like we were talking about, some colors they just for whatever reason you just can't make it. Like.
This is
remember that one rose. Ivory that we used to get 20 years ago that you could get in glass rods?
Yep.
They actually don't make that anymore.
I still have some of it because when you would lamp work, it also it would what would it call? It would like make little cells.
Oh, I love it.
Remember that?
Yeah, that was the whole.
I still have some of that glass. They don't make it.
What is that called?
It's called something.
I had been told that they didn't make it, and they had another version of it, but what wasn't the same? Because I used to love to mix Rubino, it with blue.
Oh, 100%. And Rubino Oro, I have some of the glass canes Rubino Oro. Cynthia and I were talking about getting our glass working skills back up to snuff.
It'd be fun.
Wouldn't that be fun? So reactive. It's reactive.
There it is.
That is right.
That's
Thank you,
Dawn.
That's exactly right. You know what? I love this bead with this, but I feel it's not right.
Shape.
It's not right. So I'm gonna
save it for later.
Put it aside. I think what I am gonna use is I think I'm gonna put 2 charms on the leather. This is that good. Lotus hand that we just started carrying. I got it in Tucson.
We're in the meditation.
Isn't that in the meditation pose? Exactly.
They say if you put your fingers like that, when you're trying to remember something, if you go and put your fingers, and then when you do it again later, it'll help you recall.
Oh, well, I'm gonna actually try that then, and maybe hear that lotus blossom.
That's pretty.
Let me try that.
It gives it a different flavor.
It does a little.
It does. Instead of saying, "Oh, look, 4th of July," suddenly you have.
Right,
Tibetan,
it's a little,
Himalayan,
it's a little meditative.
It's giving you those vibes.
You know what? Oh, wait. Oh, shoot. I glued this bead down. Well, maybe I'll use it. Remember when I did my gluing show?
There was a comment saying there's something, I can't get to it now. Oh, here it is. There's something about a turquoise or blue with that red that is one of the most stunning color combos for beads. I would agree, Pam. I would agree.
That's why my studio was always, if you look around here, it's red and blue.
I know. I always loved that.
Red and turquoise blue.
It is. It's like, it gives me the feeling of Wizard of Oz. You have Dorothy's gingham dress and her white socks.
Right.
And her red shoes.
Look at this. What about
That's
this?
Pretty. It's pretty.
It was from a glue show that I did a billion years ago. I glued something on this beautiful lapis disc. but it's a beautiful lost wax cast brass piece from Ghana. So it fits in. If it doesn't work, I'll just cut it. I think I kind of love it. What do you think?
You know what? You know what I do sometimes, Kate, is I make something that I can change my pendants out.
Right.
And I'll use like a piece of thick or like wide leather, and it's almost like a snap in the back. So I could change, and it would go around the whole thing in the middle, and then you could switch it.
Right. I could. Right. Make something.
Yeah. Here, someone says a star would be great too. That could be switched out. Yeah. You could do that.
And any of this, these strands are such that if you put it on a large jump ring or something, you could certainly add stuff to this. But let me show you how I'm going to close this up, because I mean, we could design together all day long and it would be amazing.
It's a fun part.
I'm going to line all these up. I'm not going to worry really about the lengths so much, but here's everything. Okay, on the next side, I'm going to worry a little bit more. Okay, now here on this side, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to lay, oh, and I need to do the button side first, actually. So this should be on the right-hand side.
Oh, do you do the button so you can make a loop on the other side?
That's right. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a button so I can visualize it, and then I won't really worry so much. I need a good... I can always redo this. I'm not loving that many of the buttons I have sitting here, but I'm going to use it anyway. This is one that we used in one of our latest kits, that tiara cast kind of cool button. Kimono cord would look really good with this. 100%.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Or that kumihimo in a small, maybe a few colors.
Yeah, it would look great. So grab your button, and you know me, I always like mixed metals. So,
same.
I wonder if I have a green girl button.
Let me see if I got one.
Do you have a button? Oh, there's all my metal stuff over there too. Hang on, folks. I'm just not in love. You know, I'm not in love with that button.
You want this? Not this one.
Oh, here they are. This is what I want. Yeah, this is better. Yeah, here. This is exactly what I want. Yep. Better. You know, when it's just not right, and you're like, that's what I was feeling.
Yeah.
I didn't love it.
Sometimes I set them aside and keep going to the next one.
Right. So instead of this one with the shank, I'm going to use this honeycomb button that we love. So I'm going to put that here. Okay. So now it looks kind of like a garbled mess right now, right? But don't worry, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to trim this out and everything later. So I'm just going to hold, see how the button's on this leather. I'm going to scrunch up all of this stuff in between those pieces of leather. And I'm going to grab some wax linen, Irish wax linen. And I think
is that cord connected to the rest of them, Kate? That one that button is on, is that part of it, or is that separate?
No, this is separate. So see here, I've got this strand here.
So is that like 10 inches maybe? Folded?
Maybe 10.
I see. For some reason, I thought you were looping from what was on the necklace.
And I actually want to get this Irish wax linen's a little bit better. I think this is the 4-ply.
I love wax linen.
I do.
Talk about a durable fiber.
Right? I love it so much. Okay, so here's this, and I've got a nice long piece. All right, so let me hold all of this back together. These, this one, this, that, and these. Okay, they're pretty even.
It looks good.
Like that, right? So it's all even.
So you're including all of the the stems.
So all this, exactly, all the ends of the beads are going to come together. And I don't know why this isn't.
Michelle says that lapis piece could also be strung the other way by putting the strands up through in the same direction with a bead stopper. Yeah, there's a lot of potential. You could
There's a lot of
do,
potential with this.
what do you call those knots when they're like separated? You could knot the leather and do like leave bare space between it.
Like just little knots. Yeah. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to silk wrap all of this. This silk wrapping is going to be fairly long, which is why I am making, like, the beads themselves are a little shorter. Okay. So see, here's that silk wrap. And there's the loop. So I'm wrapping down towards the loop. Now in our,
so you say silk wrap, but it could be any kind of fiber.
Right. The technique is called silk wrapping, but again, you could use any fiber you wanted to, even a 5.5 millimeter leather, Chinese knotting cord, Ceylon, all of that. But see how neatly I'm wrapping from right here, and I'm going to go all the way down to this. So it also will have kind of a traditional African jewelry kind of flair to it, because you see a lot of beads or a lot of necklaces from India, from Africa. They have kind of this wrapped closure on the end.
Yes, Michelle, this is waxed linen she's using.
Waxed linen. I could have used even a longer piece. I'm going to have just enough. I'm going to wrap it, see,
so tidy,
right to the top. And then I'm going to put it through that loop. And I'm going to pull on this side. Yeah, see, I had a lot of spare. I didn't really do that very well. But see, I pull that on that side, Cynthia, and look, see where it's connected right there?
Oh,
it pulls
so you left that in there, like you made it part of it.
Right.
Oh, that's so smart.
So that wax linen is...
What color is that wax linen? Carrie is asking.
I think I think it's walnut. You could use walnut or you could use chocolate. Right? So now what I'm going to do, and this looks, I think it looks okay. I'm going to actually clip these right up against there. These are the ones that the buttons were on. I could come back in, like I could cut this off and rewrap it, but I'm not going to right now. But I might want to come down just a little bit farther, or I could do yet another silk wrap. I could start another one here, wrap a little bit more, so there'd be two silk wraps side by side.
I didn't know that that's what you called that.
I love it so much. So I've been using this technique for forever.
I've done that with wire, and then I didn't realize you could tuck it. That's way better than what I was doing.
Well, it's a good old staple from us. See, I'm going to clip all this.
With the mentioning of walnut, now Dawn wants brownies.
Oh, all right. Let's do it. Or fudge.
Well, Azalea has plans to make us some babinka, and that has kind of a brownie-ish quality, except with buttery coconut flavors.
That's so good. So see, look at this end.
I love it.
So now what I'm going to do, because I feel like it looks a little unfinished. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, okay, had I been thinking, I always get these ideas afterwards. Had I been thinking, I might have slid one of these transition beads up, crimped it. You know what I'm saying? You know, you picking up what I'm putting down there?
I'm picking it up, and I like that story.
What I think I'm going to do to kind of mimic that is...
Dawn says, I'll be over.
I'll be right over. I could either silk wrap it or wire wrap it.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential.
I think I'm going to do one more silk wrap. Let's see what it looks like. This crimping right here would have been well nigh perfect, I think. But I'm not moving forward backwards. I'm only moving forwards.
Good.
So let's do another one here. Let's come up to about right here. See how I want to cinch those cords in? And I'm going to keep wrapping. And let's see if we can make this connection fairly seamless. I need to switch hands here. Because I don't really love seeing like all this cutaway cords and everything. I mean, it's okay.
You're going to cover it.
I think so.
Yeah, that looks good.
Let's see how it looks. So see, I'm just going to wrap and wrap. I'm going to wrap a bit over the original silk wrap that I did. See that there?
Liza says, would you wire wrap it first, then silk wrap next so that the strands are secure? I think that's pretty secure.
Yeah,
it's pretty secure.
I think it's secure. When you silk wrap, you wrap so tightly. The wire will just leave a little trough for the wraps of the silk wrap to fall down into.
I see a question. It's going pretty fast, but I see one. It says, is there a difference between a silk wrap and a barrel knot? They look similar. Let me see if I can finish it.
The result is similar, but a barrel knot is a knot that's like wrapped around, you use the end of just a plain cord, wrap, and stick that end through. So it has the same look. The silk wrap, you're actually using a separate piece of thread to come around a bundle or something to hold it together. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get it. That's pretty smart. I didn't know that the difference of that. Sometimes I'm not great with remembering the
Look
terms.
at how nice that looks.
It looks tidy. Kept all that together. Tidy.
So then so I'm going to pull these tight like this.
I see. She says barrel wraps around itself. That's Michelle says.
Yeah, barrel wraps around itself. Yeah.
Pretty smart.
That's what I was trying to sort of get across.
Oh, Queen Tut 80 says, I've never heard of bibinka, but it must be delicious. It's a Filipino dessert that is made with rice flour, coconut milk, and butter.
Yeah.
And some other things. It's kind of
evaporated milk?
Evaporated milk. So it has a custardy, kind of like a bread pudding-ish.
Kind of feel to it.
I don't know if there's anything exactly like it. It's just kind of a dense, but it's delicious. So the next day you get like a layer of a custard on top. Kind of like the middle of a coconut cream pie.
Yes, yum. So see, these leathers are kind of all kind of screwed up here. So I'm going to take this off. I'm going to kind of untangle all of this.
Carrie says she's missing JP, so I'll just keep harping at y'all. Feel free.
I love it. Do it. I know. I'm not sure what's up with Janice. I should have actually texted her, but
maybe she's out to lunch or something, getting on to doing something fun.
Let me just do this. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to just text to Janice and say everything okay. She may have told me that she was, I am live, but all is well. Okay. She may have had something to do and told me that she wasn't going to be here today. And just in my haste of doing everything, I just didn't hear her. Okay. Here we go. So that's back on. Now I'm going to check the length. So let me get myself here in the center.
That's a pretty length.
It is a pretty length.
It's a good flattering length.
And this needs to be shorter if it needs to be at all. Let me see.
So adjust before tying off first.
Yeah, you got to adjust it beforehand. Let me try this again. Whoops. I'm going to take that. I'm going to leave that off. You know what? I think it's telling me that it just wants to be this.
I kind of love it like that.
Yeah. So that's what it's telling me. Though I could put this on something else and just layer it with this when I want to do it. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. Thank you. Let's go back to this. It'll make my life a lot easier too. Hang on. Oh, that's right. She had her friend last night. She has a friend visiting her. They are probably
Probably getting some
yeah,
brunch.
yeah. I bet that Cynthia will give us the babinka recipe. Everybody wants the recipe, Cyn.
I actually don't have the recipe.
I bet you could. You get? You think?
Maybe. But that's my mom.
Right.
You guys,
it's tough.
It's hard. I bet my daughter was sworn to secrecy.
Right. You never know.
My mom has given me, you guys. Does anyone else have a mom that gives you recipes that are not exactly like theirs, so only theirs comes out the way they make it?
I call it the Martha Stewart factor, because that's how I feel like every time I make something from Martha, whom I love, don't get me wrong, but I always feel like something's a little off.
Oh, I don't know. I have a ton of her cookbooks, and Greg makes her banana bread from that one. She has a great the baking book, and it's pretty much the best banana bread ever.
Well, I like that story. Let me use, this is the distressed rose that I'm using. This strand should be long enough, I think. So I need to figure out what I wish I had a longer piece. Here we go. Here's a longer piece. I need to figure out what the length for this is going to be.
Oh, Greg bakes all the time. He loves to bake for, the Great British Bake Off. He likes to make what's his name? Tom Hollywood? I can't remember his name.
I'll be honest. I've never watched it. I've never watched the Great British Bake Off, and I love cooking shows.
When that season comes out, we binge watch it, and then we watch it again. But it's hard because then I want all the treats. Yeah. Dawn says, I make her seed quick bread. It's great.
Oh, I like that sound. So here's what I did here. I tied a knot because I wanted to have like a little terminal, terminate there. So this is going to come here. So now I'm going to line up like I did on the other side, making sure that everything here, this is the tricky end.
Oh, right. The hard end?
Yeah. So and especially
pay close attention.
Since I want this little center to be in the center. And see here. So this is looking okay, I think. That red is going to be a little long, which is all right. This blue, see, that's going to be a little long. So I need to take this one off.
The adjustment stage.
Yeah, the adjustment always feels like it takes forever. So thank you. Oh, yes,
yeah, Carrie, I know. It is Paul Hollywood. That's his name.
Paul Hollywood, the swimsuit edition.
I loved that one. I saw a lot of people very critical of that and saying that they were sexualizing 81. Her. If she wants to be a sexy lady, I think that's okay.
And you know what? And they were also saying, because obviously she's airbrushed. Obviously Martha's had some work.
Well, you know what? Who wants, if I went on and I had something, like had a big mark, I would say, can you pretty please do something about that?
Yes.
You want to look your best.
No, I agree. I say more power to her. That woman is 81. She's got two things I want. She has like a multi-billion-dollar empire, which I don't know if I really want that. And she's buddies with Snoop Dogg.
Snoop. Yeah, me too.
I want Snoop on my quick dial.
Yeah, he's probably like 4 on her.
I know, on her like dial a friend.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Who doesn't want that?
I want it.
That's a very true and pure relationship right there.
I'll just be like, Snoop, why don't you come over? We're going to bake something. And he'd be all, yeah, I'll be there right away. And I'll say, okay, great. We're going to barbecue. See how, I've worked this out in my head. Can you tell that my friendship with Snoop Dogg is a rich and exciting story in my head?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's just fun to have, have friends that are
my imaginary friends. Okay, so see here, we've done all of this. We're ready to go.
I love how that's looking.
Okay, and I'm gonna let me pull that up just a little.
Oh, Martha had pictures taken only in an apron.
I know, I did see that too.
I didn't see that myself, but I'll have to look that up.
And I say age gracefully. I'm going to be 57 this year. I'm going to be the big 5'7", which I'm not quite sure how that happened, but
that doesn't. It seems weird. I remember when we were talking about your 50th birthday, and that was 7 years ago.
I know, crazy, huh? Crazy times. So I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna try and age as gracefully.
Terry says, "I don't think we are ever too old for imaginary friends." Well, that's a relief because my imaginary friends are big, giant, pink cats. So, I guess I shouldn't volunteer that information onto the public, but it is what it is.
I'm gonna wrap this. I'm gonna start wrapping this right under the knot. Right? Yeah, the Buddha charm would look great on that. And so the beauty of this, and I'm glad I left the leather plain, because I can put charms like on a little lobster claw, or I can open and close a jump ring and put them on. So, it's all good. So see how I'm wrapping? There's the knot that I tied.
There's so that wasn't here. Now again, that was not that's a separate piece, right?
Separate piece. So here's the loop. So I'm silk wrapping it exactly how I did this one here.
Okay. Yeah, Michelle, I guess the cat's out of the bag that I'm a weirdo. But we kind of already knew that.
Thank goodness, because I think we're all...
Yeah, that's... I told Azalea, because someone was making fun of her at school and called her weird. And I said, you know what, Azalea? I got that all the live long day when I was in high school. And then it used to bother me. But what I realized was that being different is okay, because what's so great about being the same as everybody else?
Yeah.
Nothing, really.
Nothing. Nada.
Yeah, I guess agree. We are a little weird. And that's okay.
I think it just adds a little spice to life.
And now all of us are weirdos unite.
That's right.
Weird is a compliment, in my opinion.
And I feel like when you have a creative brain, that you think a little more, maybe in 3D, or I don't really know how to describe it. But you have that, Cynthia, for sure. When you draw or when you talk about designing, I can see that in your head, things like you see the finished product already sometimes. I don't know if that's true, but I feel it's that way because that's kind of the way that I operate. It's like I can see what I want it to look like finished. I just have to figure out the creative steps to get there,
Mm-hmm. You have to figure it out. I kind of work backwards.
Right.
I think of it, what I want to happen, like if you can visualize, say I have a necklace and I'm looking at it, I'm like, what would be great is an octopus here or whatever, some kind of clasp. Then that's actually how I make things, is when I need it and I don't have it.
Right. And the function has to follow the form. Here we go. So I'm going to pull it here. There it goes.
Yeah, Sharon, when someone calls others names, it is because they are envious and wish they had the courage to be. Yeah, I think that's probably true. Azalea is, she's always been kind of
a rare bird,
outspoken and does not like it when people bully other people.
No, that's for sure.
Yeah, she gets fired up about that.
So see here, I'm pulling. The connection is under here, under this wrap.
So the first thing with that, the linen was laying across it.
Mm-hmm, in a loop.
Oh my God, that's so smart. I thought you were going to tie it. Then when I saw it, I thought it was tied there. That is way better than what I thought.
No, and then you just pull it under. And then that connection is under here.
It's tucked in so it doesn't get... I see. That's so much better. Because I've done that before with wire, and that thing always comes out. Now I know how to do it properly.
This is something I learned. One of the very first things I learned from Janice back in 1992, when I first set foot as an employee at the bead shop in Palo Alto. So see here we go. I'm going to just clip all this business out of the way. There we go.
Jennifer says, we're all a little weird. Life life's a little weird, and when we find someone whose weirdness is compatible with ours, we fall in mutual weirdness and call each other best friends.
I love that story.
That is great, and I think it's probably true.
It's so true. So what I'm going to come back here and do, and I'm not going to take the time to do it because I want to wrap this up so you folks can go. Like I did here, see how this has like a nice tapered look? I'm going to do that same thing here. I'm going to do another small silk wrap to cover this ending because I think it looks, I mean, it's fine. It'll hold, but I feel like it looks a little messy. Okay.
You like it to be finished. I've seen your necklaces and they are always very pro.
I like the work to be super, super
like professional.
Neat. Yeah, I like everything to look neat. And see that little bit right
lower
there.
A little bit.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it looks, that's awesome. And
so
you made that, if you weren't describing each step, you would have probably been done in
that's like
probably like
15
30,
minute.
Yeah, 15
20
minutes
minute
maybe.
Necklace. Yeah, that's what that is.
And would you have, if you strung all that, that would have been like
hours.
And 2 hours minimal.
Oh, at least. And
with your optivisors on.
Yeah, these tiny little beads.
Yeah, that looks great.
Detritus.
So you guys, you could easily add, one of the things I like to do is make loops with seed beads. And since that one end has a knot, you could actually do a seed bead loop that can change your pendant.
Yeah, it would just slide over there, right? And it would come around. So it would be a loop that you've done. And you have a closure on the end. You know, something.
And then you can change. You could put a tassel with charms. You could make it.
I mean, heck, I could just tie something on there, right? I could add a beaded thing. But that's how you would, add things on and off.
I like that. It's one of my favorite ways to add.
Here's the closure. I think that button looks a lot better. The closure. So let me put it on and see what we've got. Let me get myself up here. So here it is straight across. And here is, see, there's that little bead that's right there. So here we go. So it's fun. It's a little long. It's actually a little bit longer than I wanted it, but I actually don't mind that length because where's that other one?
And on your neck, it looks good. Did you know, Kate, that most people see you from the back of your head more than they see the front of your head?
And you've got to have something. And look how great it
layers perfectly.
Layers with that. Can you see?
I love it. Looking good.
Right. And you can see, let me turn around so you can see.
Yeah.
Can they see how the back looks?
Yeah, it looks good. Because then you can see, if you have a decorative button, it's a perfect way to finish that off.
What you could also do, if it's longer like this.
Oh, love it.
I could torsade. So it's a twist. Not too tight of a twist.
Yeah. It's like
and it also shortens it.
Oh.
A little. See?
Yeah. A hair, like a half an inch or inch or so. Sure.
But I'm loving it, actually.
So I would make that in, I have some, I'm going to make one when I get home. I have some of those, but they're all weird shapes. And I like it that way.
So what you're going to need, let me tell you real quick, and then I'll let you folks go and I'll show you where it is. Okay. So you folks are so kind. They're so nice to me, Cynthia.
Well, I mean, it is good, Kate.
It is.
You made a fast necklace.
I did. I thought about this in the shower this morning again, as usual. But so here's the look. So here, let me get your screenshot ready. Okay, so this is ready.
How long would you say that is?
I'll measure it door to door. But this is ready for your screenshot right here. Okay, screenshot, everybody. So what you're going to need, I used 1.5 millimeter leather right here. Okay, I used a strand of the little shadows right here in the brass. I used one of the mystery bags. Okay, I used the walnut or the chocolate, whatever Irish wax linen you like. We have some beautiful blues. The denim is beautiful, whatever you like. So you'll need some of that wax linen. The colors of the 1.5 millimeter that I used was the distressed light brown and the distressed rose I used, but use whatever you want. And then I used our honeycomb button here for the button. But again, this is a great way to stash dive. You could also string up some of your African trade beads or whatever, or make a companion necklace. Like maybe I'll make a companion necklace that I could wear this, my mom's trade bead. Good thing with it. It looks beautiful. Or we have coming up next week, we have some of the gooseberry, the old gooseberries are coming, which are these. Those are coming.
You know, those have the look of the Vaseline beads from back in the day.
And we have, this is going to be a tribal trunk show. I've got just a few of these. I'm going to grab my favorite color of it.
Now, Kate, in this collection, I didn't hear, are the beads then that collection that you're going to have in the flash sale, are they all similar to this, or are they all different colors?
I'll flash them one again. These are coming to in one of our flash sales. These are those beads from the Maasai that I love so much. Bought straight from the African trader, still wrapped. They're gorgeous. So those are coming up. But you could get some of these and kind of do that same thing with this. So so thanks for asking, Cynthia. I'll show you the beads that you get. So what I did, was I sorted out all 500 strands that I had. And so I made them into different color stories. So a lot of the color stories are similar to this. You can see this blue, green, red kind of thing. But they're also, they're all different. Them
in perfect color.
I tried.
Coordinated.
I really tried. I think that everyone is a winner.
There's some. And I would believe that. I can't imagine that you would put something ugly together.
There's some that have yellow. There's some that have red. There's mostly blue. There's mostly green. There's a lot of this white, this kind of off-white. So I promise you, if you don't love the bag, send it back. I will keep it. So I'll send it to Cynthia because I don't have one for her.
I'm not afraid.
I kept one, and all the rest went to you folks. So you can find that, friends, on our website. I'll show you that one more time. You can go right to our homepage, and at noon, hit refresh on your screen and click, or go right into our new arrivals. You'll see it. It comes packaged in a little organza bag with that little sheet I made that talks about the beads. So you'll have some talking points for them.
Yeah, and then you can if you make a necklace, you can tell people about it.
Yeah, tell people about it. So that's it for me. And Cynthia's right here off screen. She's like, I'm just going to stay here off screen.
Oh yeah, my face is a little puffy.
Yeah, she had a big day yesterday, big day today. So I wanted to say to all of you all, thank you so much for the amazing weekend that we had, or the amazing week that we had together. Our great Bead Extravaganza takeover, our wonderful time that we had with Cynthia, our really great broadcasts from Wednesday. We're going to have that color wheel up next week so you folks can download it. Some of you have already downloaded the blank template and have colored it in, which is so awesome.
I have enjoyed seeing all the colored.
It's
fun. Who doesn't love it? It's a fun project.
It's really great. I'm
going to make more.
Yeah, I can't wait. Why not? So we also have the clasp stuff that I'm going to share with you. Cynthia's already working
about that.
On the fresh clasp.
We're going to have a nice long car ride to discuss.
Yeah, to discuss. We talked about it on our walk this morning.
We have a list of all the ideas that I went through the comments last night and wrote down what I missed.
Yes, so it was cool. So we had a great time.
It's going to be fun. I've enjoyed the process of making them.
And it's been fun to be together. You're going to do your regular live, I think, Sunday night.
On Sunday,
right?
I don't know what we'll have planned. We were thinking about doing a mad scientist sort of experimental. We said, what would happen if we did different kinds of nail polish?
Right.
I guess we're going to find out.
Yeah. So we'll see. So Cynthia will be back with Azalea. You never know. I'll be hanging around. They're not leaving until later this week, or later next week. So, but stay tuned on all of Cynthia's channels for that. So folks, have a really enjoyable, wonderful weekend. It is a kickoff to summer this weekend. Summer is here. Happy Memorial Day. And to those of you who are across the seas, have a really wonderful and fantastic weekend. Stay safe, drive safely, and I'll see you next Wednesday, if
Thank
not
you,
before.
guys.
Thanks, everybody. Talk to you soon. And remember, the flash sale goes live noon
So you have a
Pacific
few
time,
minutes.
which is about 14 minutes from now. Thanks so much,
Awesome.
everybody. Bye-bye.